In the late 1950s and early 1960s, you'd be hard-pressed to find any team in the land that could defeat the basketball team at then Pueblo Junior College. During the 1959 and 1960 seasons, the best player at PJC was our next inductee. While at PJC, the El Paso, Texas native led the 1960 squad to a top 10 finish at Nationals and was named an NJCAA All-American after averaging 21.1 points per game. Though his greatness was obvious on the court, his accomplishments off the court were even more impressive. He was on the front lines in integration battles in the 1950s and 1960s, among the first 8 black students to attend all-white Austin High School in El Paso. After attending PJC, which was historically a racially progressive program under then-coach Harry Simmons, chief, he became the first black basketball player at the University of Wyoming in 1960. And upon entering professional life as an FBI agent, he was among the first 20 African Americans hired by the FBI in 1968, and later was the head of security for the Golden State Warriors. And it all began for him right here in Pueblo. Ladies and gentlemen, class of 2010 inductee, please make welcome Mr. Curtis Jimerson.
First of all, I'd like to acknowledge my family. My brother Al, my sister Linda, and her husband Herman Harris. Guys, thank you very much for coming to this honor, and I love you very much. I grew up in a family of 10 kids in El Paso, Texas. 7 boys and 3 girls. We had 2 wonderful parents who were hardworking, and they believed in working hard and getting a good education as the only way to excel in this life. My mother said to me many, many, many times, I want you to have a better life than I've had. And the only way to do it is to get a good education and work hard. My mother oftentimes would brag about being the valedictorian of her high school graduating class. She would use this to motivate me to be a better student. That carried a lot of weight and respect with me until I later learned that my mother's class only had 3 students in it. It's hard to believe that I stepped into this campus 52 years ago. When you speak in 50-year increments, you are an old, I wasn't going to say this word, but I saw the kids, I'm going to spell it F-A-R-T. I remember so well getting on that Greyhound bus in El Paso, Texas, heading to Pueblo, Colorado. I had never been to Colorado before. It took a lot of nerves to get on that bus, being that I had only talked to an individual by the name of Harry Simmons, who told me that he was a coach at this school. He told me that he liked my game, and I could be an important part of it, of his team. We had nothing in writing. He did promise me that he would meet me at the bus terminal in Pueblo, and he did. What a relief seeing that man at that bus terminal, being that I only had $7 in my pocket. Not enough to return to El Paso. Coach Simmons taught me a lot about how to play basketball. But the best memory I have of him is a statement that he made after we had lost the basketball game. We were were standing around laughing and kidding when Harry interrupted us and says, "How can you guys be so happy after losing that game?" Then he made that statement that has stuck with me my entire life. That statement was, "Show me a good loser, and I'll show you a loser. Show me a good loser, and I'll show you a loser." That statement is still part of my life. As some of you might know, I am a retired FBI agent. I worked for the FBI for 30 years. And when I was having a tough time solving one of my cases, I would fall back on that statement and work a little harder not to be that loser. Thanks, Harry, for making me go that extra mile. And I'm sure my superiors appreciated it too. Lastly, I'd like to thank the Hall of Fame Selection Committee for remembering this guy who's been gone for a long, long time. I'm sure that few of you, if any, ever saw me play basketball. But after they invited me back, I started going through some old records. And I saw something I thought was pretty darn good. Against Trinidad in 1960, 50 years ago, I made 17 of 18 free throws. I thought that was pretty good. I just want to say thank you very much, and it's a real honor to be a part of this. Thank you very much.